I got this router jig from Stonecoat. A real good craftsman would have actually made one, but I know myself, and I don't think I could make a sled like this with as much precision and integrity as something like this has. Now I'm working on this piece right here, smoothing it out. Be the last step before I test myself on polishing. My biggest challenge is, am I working on a flat surface when I build something up like that? Are each of those pieces going to be flat, and am I going to end up having that final flat piece when I do a final work? That's something I'm going to be really worried about and have to watch really closely. Pretty flat, I think. I'm not going to worry about these little corners. I've got some good practice with this. Now I'm going to get to polishing again. See what my skills are like. This is a good throwaway piece, but good to practice on. This sure makes a mess. All this little epoxy shavings, and they're all over the floor too. Really happy with this flattening job on this practice piece. I got that chunk of plexiglass off the back. Of course, where that bit of deep pour didn't have enough room to cure, that's gone ahead and exited. I am stopping here because right here I'm starting to expose my screw from my pocket hole jig, and I don't want to tear up my bit. But this is good enough for me to go do a little bit of flattening on. I don't know, I may not mess with it because of that screw right there. But I'm real happy, and I feel pretty confident about taking on the big project now. Have now done the sanding after the router. Really happy with how smooth that got these pieces. Not going to take this one all the way down because, again, I've already exposed that screw and I don't want to end up tearing up my pads. But really happy with how smooth and flat these are. For sanding, I've wondered about what type of discs to use. My son-in-law's father, he really taught me a lot about being mindful of the dust that comes from epoxy and can gum up sanding discs really fast. So I read about these Mirka pads that you see here, Mirka, M-I-R-K-A. And when I talked to Rob Ryan at Stonecoat, he could not stop talking about these pads. So this was my first time trying this, and it worked pretty good. The pad is pretty clean. I didn't clean it at all doing the sanding on this piece here. And as far as I understand, you can take these off and wash them and reuse them much more so than normal. I am really liking those Mirka pads. So this is a standard sanding pad that I used to bring down that epoxy, and with that white on there, it's pretty much done. And that was probably 10 minutes of work. I could slap it a little bit and dust it off, but it's pretty much done with that epoxy, that very fine dust getting in there. This is the Mirka pad with an 80 grit. Same thing, was working that same piece, and it looked just like this with all that white, but I just rinsed it out, and now I can reuse it. So I'm really happy with these.